Oh, I really hate that, actually. Are we live?
Yeah.
Hello, internet and things and people.
Hello! Welcome to the Game Raven Review Podcast.
Talk about all things here.
We're all
Family
friends here.
friendly.
Yes.
Family
Christian Minecraft server status.
Oh, did you hear about the moms against good TV shows, whatever they're called? That we're real big mad that Daredevil and stuff are going to be on Disney Plus because it's supposed to be quote unquote family friendly. And it was like,
Disney Plus is not family friendly. What are they talking about?
There was literally, after that update happened, there was literally a thing that when you launched Disney Plus on your TV, your phone, that was like, hey, would you like to go into mature content on this profile? And since you're the lead profile, do you want to change it on the others? So if your kids had a profile, you can give them kid-friendly content. It's a setting. There's a literal setting for that. But they're getting mad because it's like, oh, there's now mature content? Like, what?
Yeah, how dare you make me want to actually police my children?
God.
Like, I sat them in front of the Disney Plus and said, go do whatever you want to do. How dare I actually set up kids' profiles for my children? Because now I have to do that, I guess. Which,
censorship is bad.
Moon Knight's not for children. I'm pretty sure Moon Knight's gonna be on Disney Plus. That's not for children. I know, it was just weird to see the story. It was just like, Daredevil's coming. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I like Daredevil. That hallway scene is great.
Yeah, loved Daredevil. Wasn't a fan of all the other ones, but I like Luke Cage. Luke Cage was pretty cool.
Luke Cage was fine. Jessica Jones for season 1 was fine.
Yeah, it was okay. Iron Fist though.
Yikes. That's the one they should have complained about. No, everything else can be here. Get rid of that Iron Fist, though. How dare you? I guess you got to see. I wonder if they actually still put the Netflix logo on it, because I guess you have to. Still a Netflix property.
Are you asking? Because they it's completely pulled from Netflix. All those ones.
Oh.
But I mean, since it was originally on Netflix, do they still have that logo? If a PlayStation.
I see. I think it's just Marvel. I think it just said Marvel logo.
It says Marvel. Okay.
I think I could be completely wrong.
And also, so they had Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. on there. And I was like, oh yeah, that existed. I forgot.
Yeah, right.
Access the full catalog. Oh, or not now. Yeah, I want a full catalog.
I think my only thing is that I'm more upset about the we'll charge less. We'll have two different subscription services. We'll charge less, but with commercials. Or I think they've kept the same charge for the last couple of years with Disney Plus for no ads. But I'll have to double check what that is, because I don't know if they raised it, or I know they lowered it, but I don't know if they raised it.
So me and a friend share our Disney Pluses together, because that's how adults adult now. And it's funny, I had to set I just set her so she can see the adult things. I should have kept her as a kid account. I don't know what happened. No. Oh well, I guess you can't see the Daredevils. Where is that?
Which puppet I really think you'd like, Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Hi, Sarah! Look, I'm here!
Oh, hi, Sarah. I hope you feel better.
Oh, is Sarah not doing... What is going on today?
Well, it was more like a rough night. Rough night.
Yeah, rough night. Something happened last... Ooh, I'm gonna look at the moon. See what's going on.
Oh yeah, it's been full, hasn't it?
Yeah, full moon in Virgo. Thank you.
No.
We were all second guessing ourselves and analyzing our inner workings, and it's just dumb.
Yeah. Imagine that all the
Croft.
time.
No. What is my female leads?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, I have some things to say, but I will keep it for the pod.
Jill Valentine. Oh, of course. Of course. Even though I don't really play these games, but Samus has to be on this list.
Oh, spoilers.
Samus.
And so the thinking begins. I'm looking at CoStar for the memes. Anyway, yesterday's little saying was, hating yourself is not sustainable. And today's is, it's okay to be a little broken. Yikes. Yeah, CoStar's funny because an AI puts things together, and so sometimes it says like really weird things. It's hilarious.
Gonna make it?
I think so. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, spaghetti-o!
How many are we doing? 2, 3?
Oh,
I don't know, as many as you want.
Tifa.
The moon was full last night, Sarah says. Hello, Scorpion!
Oh.
Yours told you not to be scatterbrained? Hello? What? That's unfair. I would hate that. Mine didn't even try to say that. Speaking of which, what are we doing? Okay.
Your favorite female lead. Or female
Right.
characters.
Or
Leads are
is it
characters.
characters? or leads?
Okay. Here's the deal, and we'll talk about this. It needs to be a lead.
Lead.
It has to be a lead.
Lead,
Yes.
lead.
Which we'll talk about. We'll talk about that.
Does Miss Pac-Man count?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes, she has her own game.
she has her own
Pac-Man's
game.
her own
Okay, if she
game.
has her own game,
Yep.
yes, that does count.
She's not simping over Mr. Pac-Man. She's doing. She's like, I can do it too, man. But better.
Well, okay, so in that definition, and I'm not looking at our Twitch, so I'm pretty sure Sarah's gonna yell at me. Is Tifa a lead then?
Tifa.
Does Tifa have her own
Oh.
game?
Well, Tifa
Oh.
from Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so.
Never played it, so
I would argue that what's her name from Final Fantasy 7 or excuse me 10 in Final Fantasy 10-2. She has her own game. I forgot her name. I mean, it's more of a spin-off still, but...
Lightning? No.
No, that was
Lightning?
12, I think.
Who is 10?
10 is the sorceress chick. Why am I... She's waifu for days. Who am I thinking of? 10.
Yuna.
That's what it is.
I didn't know. Sarah said it.
Oh, okay.
She was the quick.
Gotcha. Oh, Yuna. Oh, my bad.
Our resident expert.
Thank you.
Oh, you said she might be able to join.
Yuna has her own game, technically. But not Tifa.
Yes. Okay. I was trying to remember their name. Well, 6 from Little Nightmares. Yes. I was gonna bring 6 up. Yes.
6 is an antagonist, actually.
Yes.
I mean, you could be an antagonist as long as you're a lead.
You're a protagonist to somebody's frame of mind, and you're an antagonist to somebody else's. We're getting existential.
Right. You're always a hero of your own story.
Because she screwed over the other guy. Man.
Okay, save it for the pod. Save it for the pod.
Oh, my bad. Okay, you wrote 6 down on there. Okay.
Does Zelda count? I don't think Zelda has a game.
She is.
God damn it. Oh, sorry. Oops.
Whoa.
Wow,
man.
Dang it.
Dollar for the sweater.
Tarnations, dude.
Dagnabbit, she does not have her own game.
And I think she'll only be a partially playable character in the second Breath of the Wild. At least that's
only
how it looks.
Partial?
That's how it looks like. It's one of those like you can play with.
An improvement to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in Smash. She got what is it, Shulk or whatever that other thing she does.
Yeah.
And she's Ninja. And she has moments.
Yes, Sheik. And don't even bring up Linkle. We don't talk about Linkle.
Linkle was only in Hyrule Warriors, so.
Yeah, that didn't last long for a reason.
Canon.
That's because Dynasty Warrior games aren't good.
Well, because they're just a big beat 'em up kind of thing. Like just swing sword at person.
Hey, you win. You killed 1,000 of them in 2 minutes. Great job.
And then again, I know you guys are Switch people, and again, the Switch is wonderful. But the one on the Switch just ran horribly, and the Switch just could not handle that at all. Like the frames, the Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, interesting. I'd never played any of those games.
Oh, you can see them online. It's hilarious how badly optimized that is for the Switch.
Oh no.
Frames, because like as Taz said, like there's so many like hundreds of like things you have to hit, and so the Switch can't handle having 100 assets just running at you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're swinging your sword and jumping like 20 of them, it just jumps to like 12 frames a second, and it's like, yep, all right, cool. Yep. Well, thank you for playing this Warriors game. That had lore, I think. I think it did have lore. It was a prequel, right?
You know,
Warriors was a prequel.
I think it was a prequel to. I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, they kind of are off the map for a lot of Zelda fans because they're not canon per se. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Sarah says, "God, I want the Fire Emblem Warriors game. Now I'm nervous."
Oh, it's gonna be horrible. Like, no, this is like Sarah, watch someone else play it before you buy it, because honestly, it's like I said, the Hyrule Warriors one. It's just a bad time. Like it's one of those things that, again, if you like warrior games, great. But you also know what you're getting into with a Warriors game, whether on the PlayStation or the Switch. Like, it's just a lot of swinging swords around. And maybe getting some lore. Yeah. And if you don't care about frame dropping, there you go.
I am back.
You are.
You thought you got rid of me.
Oh. Oh, Sarah says she wants to join. If we can.
Hello, yes, Sarah, join up.
Jump on in, Sarah. Oh, but I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
One day
You
we're gonna
too.
figure all this out and see why this is happening to you.
Right? I know. So strange.
What if
I
we
haven't
were-
checked lately. They might have been doing some updates. The last time I tried to figure it out was like a year ago, or maybe 6 months ago. I don't know. Time is weird.
It's weird, yeah.
I don't think it exists anymore. I think COVID happened and we kind of.
Oh, we fell to the wrong timeline.
I guess. Yeah.
Ooh.
The AFK, what is it called? TCL, LCD, TC,
LED,
TLC timeline.
4K. I don't know any of the letters you were just saying.
No, it has wow, words are hard. Anyway, the goblin dude who's the king, who's the goblin king, and he is Loki. Loki gets caught because he's doing stuff with the TLC thing. What am I saying? Please help me.
I don't know. I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know.
What is it called? Look at, he ignores me.
Sorry, I'm reading a plot line. What did you say? What are you asking?
What is it called? Loki with the TLC and the wow guy.
Oh,
And the nose.
Yeah.
Oh,
Owen Wilson.
you mean? Is that what we're trying to talk about? The TVA?
Yeah. Oh, TVA. Yes.
Yeah, the TLC threw me for a loop.
Sorry.
TLC, the LCD. I'm like the LCD.
I'll see.
The screen?
TVA. Okay. Oh my lord. You said time, like we're on a different timeline, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they're gonna show up, and then I got caught up because I was like, I can't remember the name of these people, and I can't remember the name of the show, and I can't remember the name of the people in the show. Oh
That's
shoot!
what they get you.
I know. Oh, okay. I'm just tweeting.
Oh, fun new show I'm watching, and by fun I mean it's weird, but I like it. It's with the same people who did Lost. So if you like the first season of Lost,
Oh.
it's the show. Not the rest of it, not the smoke monster thing. Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
I love that we were both like, actually all three of us except for Taz, who always sleeps well every night. We're like, oh, we had a rough night, we can't make it, but now we're all here, and I feel so happy. We have overcome.
I'm proud of you all.
Sometimes you just have to fight it.
Sam, and he was like, "Can you be on the podcast?" And I was like, "Well, I'm like hungover AF, but I'd like to be. When are we starting?" And he was like, now." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Give me a minute."
I'm glad.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah. When was the last time you were on the podcast? It was like a while ago. I'm so
God.
excited.
I don't even know. Probably back in December, I want to say.
Oh, I mean, like the last time we recorded one.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Ooh.
Ultimate. Oh god.
Okay. Sarah, the outline is, I mean, you probably know, is in the voice chat text.
oh yeah, I'm zooming already.
Yes. What did I call you yesterday? The omnipresent Mother Raven, goddess of discord.
Yeah, whatever you called me. I was drunk when you called me, and I think I sat there with like my hand over my heart for like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
It was like flattery.
I love it. Yeah, because you're just like always around. It's like you're everywhere, and you're just like, "Blah."
I'm
Doing your
everywhere
thing.
and nowhere.
That's a vibe. Oh my gosh.
I hate though that I'm like having to go through my library to try
I know.
to find games that have female leads.
Right? We'll get
Like
into
this-
that.
Oh,
I mean, for me, it's always in the back of my mind. Like, I need to have like a list of certain things.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And also, I just played like Zero Dawn too, so it's like Aloy, I like you. I think she's a good female lead.
I think I'm trying to think of games that aren't Final Fantasy, and it's very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Stay on brand.
It's like,
Stay
oh,
on
what's your favorite
brand.
song? I don't know what music is. Sorry. Like
It's
pressure.
Flow from Endwalker, the newest soundtrack. You know that they released in the new expansion. I definitely do not have the lyrics searched like up in my web browser right now. You know.
Favorite song is a song from a. Actually, no, I can't say because my favorite song is "Simple and Clean" by Utada Hikaru from Kingdom Hearts. So,
There you
never
go.
mind. I checked my statement.
On brand.
On brand.
Nice.
See now, okay. Are we? I guess this will probably be more for the podcast. But games where you could like choose your gender.
I was gonna say sometimes you are the greatest female protagonist.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna really narrow. I think I'm gonna really narrow it down just because I'm trying to make a point. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
So it has to be story based. So yeah, it can't
Okay.
be. Although if you're gonna do Assassin's Creed, which I was hoping somebody would, you can choose what's her face,
Cassandra.
Oh, good old
Cassandra, because
What's it-
she
Go ahead.
like kind of was the main.
She's
Like
the
she has her own
canonical-
person.
She is the canonical protagonist of, even though you can choose which gender, which character, because there are two different, writtenly different characters. Emily is right.
Yes.
She is canonically in the lore, the true
lore.
protagonist.
Yeah, there's been a few female Assassin's Creeds with their own parts of games.
Yeah, and like
Like-
the Liberation Front. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, so that one's fine. I also saw, what is it? Like, so does, in that definition, does Mass Effect count? Since I can choose to be male or female. I can be, was it Femshep or whatever they call them?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was
friendship.
thinking. Byla from Fire Emblem.
Hmm.
But
Do they
I mean,
have-
we could also talk about that as like a
GameSpot.
frustration.
Yes,
GameSpot.
we could do that. Yes.
I haven't been to GameSpot in like forever. Oh my god. They gave Elden Ring a 10 out of 10. Oh goodness. So I've never played Fortnite. Does Fortnite have lore?
Technically,
Does it really?
because the map tells the
Oh.
story.
What story?
Well, like remember a couple years ago when the meteor was going to hit, and then it did, and it impacted the world, and then you had kaiju battles because the aliens came down, and then so
Mm-hmm.
and the cutscenes like for the new seasons are connected to a story.
Really?
Yeah, but there's no protagonist because you
I
play
just saw-
freaking Naruto.
Well, I just saw the thing with Doctor Strange. It's like, I don't know, story trailer. I'm like, story trailer. Is story here? And I guess it is. Thank you for informing me about the story of Fortnite. The lore of... Because wasn't there also like a black hole for some point of time or
I
something?
thought there was a meteor or like something up in the sky.
I remember the
What happened with
meteor. I remember there was also like a void thing that happened or something.
I remember.
I have to figure that out. It's fine. Again, Fortnite still kicking around. Yay.
Yay! They added Laura Croft. I saw like last year or whatever.
They pretty much added everyone again besides Goku, because Goku could never be added to games. But they added a lot
awful.
of people. But cool. I mean, again, if you like Fortnite, that's great. You have your options of skins and things. They do anything? I don't think they do anything different, do they? Like, you don't get like a buff because I'm Naruto.
No, they're just purely skins.
Ah. Ooh, I should maybe go to like my tailed beast mode or something. Like I want to see Kurama with an AK.
Oh yeah.
Have him go Barian mode.
I did see a meme that's like finally Sakura is useful and just Sakura with like a gun.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
another female that could have been so powerful.
Apparently,
literally every
a year
other-
ago,
okay.
I started a fight on TikTok
Ooh.
about like people like dissing her and Sailor Moon,
Oh,
and I was like looking back in my memories at like my comments section and stuff, and I was just
Yeah.
I
Sailor
was like,
Moon
they just need some love.
can beat
Right,
Goku
though?
easy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be real.
Wait.
Maybe.
Because if you look,
But
at, if you read the
we
manga,
don't know.
she has like the power to like create black holes and stuff. But in the anime, it
yeah.
doesn't really show that. But in the manga, she does.
Yeah.
But Sakura, like plenty other greater characters, it's because she had both parents. She wasn't goaded, you know what I mean? She wasn't
Oh
OP
yeah,
because
she
had both
didn't have that
parents.
anime.
She had
Hey,
a-
so you're not reading the manga. Goku finally gets to see what his dad looks like and his mother.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Does he then lose all of his anime powers?
yeah, right.
Actually, he gets more powers.
Oh.
Dang.
I mean,
Apparently,
Naruto did that. He saw his both parents and then he got stronger. So it's
that's
similar.
true. That's
But
true.
Jeez.
Sakura had the audacity to be like, I wish I didn't have parents in front of Naruto. And it's just like, okay, wow.
That's right.
You know, I think my
Yeah.
argument
Oh,
from
okay,
here was that
so-
she was powerful because she has pink hair. So I mean,
Nice.
That was
Legit, you
your
know?
argument.
So, looking back at Naruto, which I've done the past like week, he got gaslit his entire life
Yeah.
about everything. Like they changed his name to his mother's name, so they don't know that he's the same last name as a Hokage, who is his father.
Yeah.
Mother's tribe or whatever is like destroyed, so there are no Uzumakis to even look at as a reference. Even though they do find his cousin Karen,
Yeah,
whatever.
Karin. Yeah.
But-
Karin.
Oh, I called her what they call it. No, she had the glasses. No, but it's like it's just so sad. It's like, so what happened? Like no one wanted to like adopt the child, maybe. Like Jiraiya's not a good influence, so don't send him there.
Well, I
But,
think
like,
everybody
nobody?
knew that it had the demon fox in him, so no one was willing to. For some reason,
But
it was
so-
just like put on. He was just put on blast. He's like, oh yeah, this baby has a demon.
So what happens age 0 to 5? Like, do we just put him in that apartment we gave him and said, figure it out, little boy?
The third Okage put him in there in a chair and saw a bowl of ramen. It's like, all right, good luck, kid.
Right. Like, it's just funny to me. It's like, there's a step that I missed.
Rent's due tomorrow.
Of like, and that's another thing. Does he pay rent? Because he does. He's not a
he
ninja yet.
He was gifted that apartment because
Which I'm not gonna lie, that's not a bad exchange. Not a bad.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta hate me, but I get a house.
Yeah.
You can put a demon inside me. I take a two tails. I'm fine. No, I don't need to be super strong. Just different. Like, oh yeah. Oh, they don't like me. So sad. Oh, but I don't have to pay rent. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Sorry, I don't have any friends, and the only friend I have is that swing. That is so sad.
Oh God.
I miss the swing. That's why I don't like Boruto. Boruto is just
Trash.
privileged. He's privileged. Like, you get two of the best parents to have as like influences and fighting,
Yeah.
and then it's like you cheat. You don't like ramen. It's just like a lot of things. It's like,
He doesn't like ramen?
No.
No,
He eats
he eats
burgers,
burgers.
while playing his stupid Game Boy with his friends
Right,
at a
right.
burger at a freaking McDonald's, dude. Like,
It's so funny. like Naruto honestly did help like build their like technology, I guess, or someone helped Naruto out. Like under his rule, there's a lot of like advancements happening, which is great. I love it. It's just like every time I look at Boruto, or was it not Sakura? What's her name? What is
Hinata?
no Sasuke's daughter.
oh, Sarada.
Sarada, there we go. The girl with the Sharingan and glasses, which I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, he named his daughter Sarada?
Sarada.
Sarada sounds like Sakura.
Yeah.
It is. It's pretty much that. It's
Okay.
pretty much that.
Is it supposed to
Which-
be like that?
I think so.
I mean,
Okay.
Boruto is one letter off of Naruto.
Right.
So,
It's just
Oh, true. Okay.
or two. I
again,
guess.
no one's looking at the creator and being like, he makes good names. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Literally, all the kids from like their parents are just a slight change of their parents' name.
You have Choji and his daughter, who is just Choji but black. You have why am I forgetting his name with the shadows? Shikamaru.
Shikamaru.
And his kid's name is Shikamaru.
Yeah, again, it's close to be, and it's just Shikamaru. Like his eyes, I think, are slightly different, but that's just Shikamaru. Ino and her and Sai have a child who is just pale male version of Ino.
Yeah.
Who can't draw, sadly. Or he can't. No, he can draw. He
There's
can't
a whole
do the
filler episode on his stupid freaking drawings.
Like he can draw, but he can't do the mind thing his mother can do. Which I'm like, all right, cool, I guess. I don't like. And also, is that just hereditary then? Like, can I just
their abilities?
Be like my dad can do Sage Mode, so I can do it too, I guess.
Well, I think it's like some of them, like the Nara clan, have their what's it called? A hereditary jutsus, like similar to the Frost ninja. With the ice. Yeah. With the ice. I forgot what they're called, but there are hereditary things that they pass down. But
that's fun.
Hey, kids. This podcast is supposed to be about female leads, and we have devolved into talking about more males.
I've been watching all female protagonist anime all year, and it's been great. Great experience.
Yes, I have been so excited for you. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, I shouldn't thank you. It should just be something that you want to do.
I've dropped some, but I've also like put some at 10 out of 10. So just like other anime, it's been great. It's been a great experience.
Let's see, what am I watching? My Dress Up Darling, amazing.
Is that good?
Wonderful show. It's very nice. Again, it is a lewd girl who likes to dress up as lewd. Well, not lewd, but like cosplay. She's into hentai. Like she's into hentai. Like, I want to dress as these hentai characters. And she's like, why wouldn't I want to do that? I love this.
And kids, that's just anime. Just watch anime.
You have the sailor uniform girl who really wants to go to this high school that used to have like sailor uniforms, but then like probably a decade ago was like, that's stupid, don't do that. But she wants to do it, and all the girls are like, yo, I think I want to be just like her, more open and be able to do flips and things. And it's like really cute. Just a whole bunch of cute girls just living life. It's a slice of life. Like they're just going to high school, of course. Playing in ponds and things. Always fun.
Playing in ponds?
Well, yeah, like one episode they go fishing because like the girl's like, oh, I've never really gone fishing before. And of course your main protagonist girl's like, I can do all things. And like, yo, bet, come out to my house and we can, go fishing or whatever. And of course they have, cutesy time going fishing. Like, yeah.
Instead of a beach episode, you got a fishing episode. Okay.
Well, they're always in clothes. Like the closest thing you'll get is that they have like which again I want to go to Japan mainly because these like tournament arcs they have, aka like whatever field days. It's like so awesome. Like I want to.
Yeah, right.
Field day.
I want to have a field day too.
Like we gotta practice our swimming so we can beat the other classes. I'm like, what's this? Like. Are you guys studying? Is there
wait,
class happening here? Like, there's no class happening. Like, you guys have to practice different things because for your basketball or badminton or tennis, and it's just like this is a preppy school.
I love it.
But I do. Like, I love seeing like again the little tournament arcs and things, and it's like gotta have the running races. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. Let's see what else am I watching. Teasing Master Takaki. It's pretty much about a girl who teases a boy that she likes a lot, and she just doesn't get he is getting worked every episode.
Oh my God.
Worked.
No, he is. It's like, hey, let's do this challenge, and if you fail, I get your food or whatever.
Cool.
And he's like, again, you have the option to say no, but he doesn't because he's like, no, I'm gonna beat you one of these days. Always loses. And then she's usually like, you know what? I don't really want your food. You can have it, or we can share it, or whatever. Like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. It's just funny. It's just like all these things that he could literally just say no to, or just understand. Like there was a big play they had, and of course he had to sub in for the main, like not Romeo, but again Romeo, because I guess. And she starts like going off script of like, I loved you ever since the first day I saw you that spring, and he's like. But the script said we met in winter, though. We didn't meet in spring, and it's like, whoops, my tears. she's confessing love to you because like really, it was like really like it was fun, right? Because like when you see the realization of him, like, oh wait, I think she might like me, but I'm a teenage boy. I don't know what to deal with my feelings.
Aww.
And she just keeps teasing him, which again, I bought the manga. That's how much I actually like this show. I went and bought the manga. It's like, poor baby. Like, he tried so hard. And it's like she just knows him, and it's just funny. It's like he sets up situations. Like, okay, she walks down this hallway. So I'm gonna run into her here, and I'm gonna challenge her again. I'm gonna win today, and he never wins. Like even in his dreams, he loses, and it's so sad.
Oh my gosh, what anime am I thinking of? Is it Danmachi, where he like is in love with the swords chick?
Yeah.
Who's really good. Yeah. But he just like, I don't think he ever gets better than her, actually.
No, and I think that's fine. Like honestly, having, like again, like Skate, which again I know it's about like Skate is also an anime. I'm like, is there any women in that anime? And it doesn't really matter if it is, because the point of it is having a main protagonist who is better than, like, your friend is better than you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's gonna suck because hey, I'm the one who got him into this skill, but this person also is the Michael Jordan of skating. Like this person is LeBron James of sword fighting. Okay, I get it.
Tony Hawk, you mean?
Like,
oh my god.
Tony Hawk.
Speaking of Tony Hawk, his Twitter is so funny because he runs into people and people don't recognize who he is or like acknowledge who he is. It's so funny. And he like tells every story. He's like, I don't know, like somebody will be looking at his passport. And he's like, oh, Tony Hawk, like that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, like that skater guy. And he's like, yeah,
that guy. Yeah, I heard that guy's like really handsome and nice and to the community.
Or they'll be like, oh, you really look like that skater guy. And he's like, I am that skater guy.
This has been what?
It was the 90s, I think. Yeah.
90s, early 2000s. It's been.
Yeah, those Tony Pro Hawk games were nice, though. I miss those skating games.
Yeah, that was prime gaming.
Hey, yo, Skatebird is out now.
Skatebird, yes. Oh, that'd be kind of fun if they actually had like a hawk they called Tony.
They do.
They do?
They do?
But they spelled the name
Nice.
like the bird hawk, not Tony Hawk's last name.
That's fun.
Oh. Well, wait, how does he spell it? I always thought it was like the bird.
Yeah, he spells it like the bird.
Does he? No, I thought, no.
Yeah.
Does he really?
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
No, because doesn't Hawk, I thought Hawk had
Yeah, he does.
No,
His doesn't.
it's just like the
I mean, I guess he
bird.
can.
my bad. I've been watching Hawkeye. For some reason, I just keep the E. My bad.
Oh,
My
Tony
bad.
Hawk broke his leg.
Hawkeye.
Come
Tony Hawk,
keep
you're too
pulling
old
out
to
the
be breaking your
protagonist
leg.
trait here.
Just as super as they are.
He's 53. He does not look 53.
Right?
But he also broke his leg apparently. Stop doing these. It's like, stop doing these tricks. You're 53. Like.
Good for him, though.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, but it's not a career ending though, but it almost was. I guess that's nice.
Wait, his
suffered
career is still going?
I guess so.
Oh.
Tony Hawk, who suffered a career-threatening broken femur last week, is already up and walking without crutches.
Wow.
So I guess he's still one day after a skating accident. Yeah, so he's still skating. Oh no.
Good for him. I want to be doing something like that when I'm 53.
Yes, he's doing like
Right?
yoga and stuff to be all still limber.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's
Okay, here we are also talking about a man again. Let's get Craig in here and let's get this party started.
Greg, please work today.
Greg, another male.
Ugh, males. I'm just kidding.
Unless they
Don't be
weren't,
like-
you know. They haven't
Why
actually
do
said.
men?
Oh, Craig, you know,
You can't. They did not
Craig
said.
didn't say their pronouns, so
Oh, true,
Why do
true,
men?
true.
why do men?
It's like my go-to whenever something irritates me. I'm just like, ugh, why do men?
Oh, men. Okay, I said why do man? Why do man?
I do, man.
Why do men?
Why you do this?
Wait, was it you who somebody tweeted recently like, "Men, I have a question." Why?
Yeah, I think that was me.
That one made me laugh out loud. It's so funny. Everyone follow Sarah on Twitter. She's hilarious. Oh, Hazel the Plant Witch. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh, dang. Yeah, never mind. I'm looking through Discord about Craig, and Craig is a dude.
Boo.
They say he tells you at the beginning of recording.
Are we able to change his name? Because I know, like, Carlbot, I'm able to change his name. So Carlbot is now, like, Ravenbot, I think.
That's exciting. I wonder if we can.
Okay.
Now recording.
Hi!
Worked this time. Thank you.
Craigie boy.
Yuki boy. Oh, man. All right. So we all. I haven't even looked at this.
I'm sorry.
Like me. Oh.
Did we change the question of the day?
Oh.
I missed like 3 days this week. I'm so sorry. St. Patrick's Day. That's all I gotta say.
Man, that was a good day.
Yeah.
That was a great day.
It's been a fun week.
It's been a fun week. It's been, yes, lots of highs and lots of lows.
Yes.
Kind of a week. Yeah.
It's the moon, man. It's the full moon. Makes you do crazy things.
Messes with the tides.
Oh
There it
no.
is. Updated.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I was like, oh, this question. Okay.
Okay. We'll see what I say when we get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Ours will be fun. It'll be a trip.
Times. All right, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we will begin in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Game Raven Review podcast. I am your host, Sam, and as I am every week, I am joined by some very talented individuals as we discuss the world of indie games. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about our favorite female leads. But before we get into any of that, I would like to introduce who I have with me this week, starting with Taz, who is our Twitch team lead. Taz, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so excited for this week's topic. How are you?
I am here. I'm existing. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. And next we have Puppet, who is our editor-in-chief. Puppet, how are you?
Hello, Sam. I am also here, existing.
I'm glad you are existing, Puppet.
Thank you. I'm glad you're existing too, Sam.
Oh, thank you. And last but certainly not least is Selwa, our executive director. Sarah, how are you?
I am also existing. Hello. I also love how everybody has just started calling me Sawa. I might have to legally change my name to have a W in it instead of an R because it is just so adorable.
Yes.
It could be funny. Just like, no. I changed my name. It's now Selwa. Say it.
Sawa.
Thank you.
Say it.
Sawa.
Like, we need Selwa to come to Terminal A. Selwa. Can Sarah please come to the Terminal A? Like, what is this? I'm not.
Who are you
I'm sorry,
talking
we're
about?
all gonna say Sawa now.
Oh, man. Well, thank you all for joining me this week, and we'll be right back to what we've been playing. See you there. All right. And 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the Game Raven Review podcast with our segment, What We've Been Playing, which is what we've been playing for the last week or so. And so we're going to start with Puppet. Puppet, what have you been playing?
Well, Sam, I have been busy and tired and exhausted, so I haven't really played a whole lot. So I found this gacha game called Pokemon Cafe Remix, and it's kind of my life right now. It's a great game when you're really tired and you don't want to think very much, but you still want to enjoy like Pokemon. And it's been super fun. Taz started a guild in the game and then recently transferred it over to me because I've been playing it so much. So yeah, that's been great. I did play one indie this last week, however, called Spellcaster University, and it is delightful. Emily Reynolds, our editor, also wrote a wonderful review of this game, so if you're interested in it, go to GameRavenReview.com and you'll see it on our front page. It's a great game. You create a castle or a university, a big university, and you have students who enroll, and there's like mythical creatures around the area that you have to look out for in different tribes, and you get to choose what classes the students take, and like, you know, all this stuff. It's very fun. It's very, very satisfying. So go read about it on our website for sure. So those are my 2 games for this week.
Very nice. Taz, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately. It's so good. So good. Highly recommend anybody to play it. Because it's like, I don't know, I couldn't even get through some of like the Dark Souls games, but this one, I loved the open world. I love how linear it wasn't, because if I'm like, oh crap, I'm getting murked over here, I'm just going to go this way and figure out if I can hang out over here. Leveling up, I've been fighting all the bosses. I've kind of paused on the story bosses in the new areas because I want to fight all the bosses in like Limgrave, the first area, and then I think it's the southern coasts or whatever, all those bosses, just so I can get all the talismans, Ashes of War, things like that. Kind of grinding it out, taking my time. I'm not going to say I'm finding these right off the bat. As much as I like to explore things, if I'm like thinking objectively, I do have a guide that tells me where these bosses are. I explore the area to my furthest, I won't look any guides for like the area, but only specifically where the boss is, not how to fight them, how to beat them, purely with my own build, because I'm rocking kind of a bandit, high dexterity, arcane, and endurance build. So I'm rocking like some bloodletting stuff that does high critical damage. And that's kind of my build, most because I kind of went into it like not doing any research on the builds, because it only starts you off like your builds are only like, oh, these are your great starting stats for just starting out. And I kind of want to keep that consistent. But Elden Ring has been great. I have no idea what's going on in the story. You have to like read all the items and stuff, which is really cool. I love all my summoned like dogs wolves, and like my giant jellyfish that helps me out and takes hits and does poison damage. It's awesome. And they're just adorable, and they're undead, so I don't feel bad when they die. So it's great. Because that already happened to them. They're just helping me out voluntarily, purely voluntarily. We're all a team here. We're all a squad. And it's been great. I haven't done a lot of PvP yet. I kind of want to do that a little bit more, just to see how I can hang with other players, but it's been a great experience.
Very nice. So you didn't get affected by the patch they did from your build?
Actually, no. Emily was there, or excuse me, Puppet was there with me. Whoops, name drop. Like we were just like on our phones, just chilling after we watched a movie or something, and I was reading the patch notes of 1.03, and it did not affect my build, which was great because a lot of people were like, oh yeah, they're gonna nerf bloodletting and stuff like that, which they might still in the future. But I've seen a lot of funny TikToks about like what to do now that they've like nerfed some things and what things are better and worse and whatnot. So, but no, to answer your question, it did not affect my build, which I'm super happy about.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Bloodletting is a weapon?
It's an effect. So I have, hold on.
Like it hurts people? Because bloodletting is supposed to be a healing thing.
I think maybe I'm thinking the wrong thing. It's blood something. Blood. just gonna go
Is it
with
like
this.
draining or something?
Okay, so I'm rocking Reduvia, which is a dagger, because I'm rocking daggers mostly, and it has okay, so Reduvia Bloodblade, which Blood Loss is. I knew it was BL.
Oh, okay.
My
I
bad.
was so confused.
My
I was
bad.
like,
That's on me.
bloodletting? Like,
Blood
oh,
Loss build up,
blood loss.
which is
okay.
great because it stacks on your enemy, and once it hits its max stack, it gives out a huge chunk of percentage based on that enemy's health total. So ideal for big bosses. You want to use this ability, it builds up, boom, huge, giant, massive hit. Whether no matter like how weak your stats are compared to the boss, it does a percentage based attack. It's awesome.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice. Guess I'm next on this list because I'm going down the list. I played a little game that is, I believe it's an indie game. It looks indie to me. Called the Red Strings Club. It is a pixel art murder mystery kind of thing, where you're trying to take down this corporate conspiracy because they're gonna take over people's minds, because in the future we all have like enhancements, and you can put that into whatever way you want to put enhancements, but we all have like little robot enhancements, you know, eyes, brains, hands, whatever you want to change out, you can. And so the corporate people are like, hey, why don't we just like stop all war in the world by just, I don't know, brainwashing everyone? And it's like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm really down with that or not. And so that's kind of the game, is you try to figure out if you're down with that or not, and you get to jump to different characters. I think it's really fun. Like, it is something that I really like, of just like the morality of talking to a character who's like, yeah, we're just gonna brainwash people. And I'm like, well, I don't, like, I get the idea, but like maybe not everyone though, or at least give us the opportunity to discuss it. Like, no, we're just gonna, like, you should read your terms of agreement, which I found hilarious. Because it's like, yeah, if you read your term of agreements, when you get your implants, they all say we can do updates as much as we want, and you can't say a thing about it. And I'm like, oh, that's true, because I don't read terms of agreements either.
It's too long.
Because, again, like, if there was some term of agreements that my firstborn child would have to be taken, I'd be like, well, I didn't read that. I'm so sorry, tiny human. But shoo along. But I think it's a really fun game. I like the characters. I like the atmosphere. The music is really great. There's some mini games in it as well, where you have to like, you have to form certain enhancements for people, where it's like, hey man, I'm a cosplayer, but I'm not getting that much attention. And so you get them a piece that makes them more, like, to make them more, not attractive, but like, you have more charisma. So now people will like you better. Oh, I have this big business deal to do. Cool, well, this gives you the ability to, again, be able to convince people to buy your product. Like, it's like, okay, cool. Then, of course, you can also do bad things, like make someone not care about their corporate life whatsoever and burn it all to the ground. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't mind doing that. Let's see where that goes. But this was on sale about a week or so ago, and I played a few hours of it. I really like it. Again, the Red Strings Club. I've also played Have a Nice Death, which is about a little chibi death person who is upset because all his minions are like killing a lot of the peoples for no good reason. And he's like, there's an order to this, and why are we getting so many deaths? So now I have to go out and bring my scythe and beat up all my minions. And again, it's fun. It is we talked about it last week, I believe, as well. I really like the game. I enjoy the power-up system. I enjoy the character design. Have a Nice Death, however, is not for those who are triggered by certain visuals, because again, this is about death. So there is a character that, how can I say this? There is a character whose weapon is a rope for reasons. And it's like, oh, yeah. And it's like, okay. Also, though, cute, because it is a cute little character. But then you notice that his weapon's a rope, and you're like, oh,
Interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's sure. Again, optional bosses, because that's an optional boss. But again, I think it's a fun game overall. Again, I like the characters. It's the same people who did Fandango, which again, not Fandango, Grim Fandango. There it is. And like it's in that same kind of realm, right? Like, yes, this is depressing because we're in hell, death's realm, wherever we are, underworld. But it's still that cutesy kind of atmosphere they try to mix in, which I think they do a decent enough job to. Again, if you like action and fast-pacedness, that's also what this is. Weapon upgrades are fun. Trying to defeat bosses is fun as well. So I like that. And last game I played would be Horizon Zero Dawn, because Forbidden West came out, and Zero Dawn was on sale with DLC for like $10. And I was like, well, I can just play this. Like, it's a lot cheaper. And I instantly loved Alloy. Yeah, like the metal. I really like her design. I don't see why people complain about the way she looks. I think she looks fine. I also like that she is main protagonist. So it's like, Alloy, how am I supposed to do the thing? As I am an adult and I always do the thing myself. But now that she's here, I do not know how to do anything else. And it's just funny. It's like she helps everyone out, which is cool. And there are optionals that you don't have to do. But it's funny to have like that moment of like, I have to make this decision. Hey, Alloy, can you help? And it's like, all right. like, sure. What do you need? Okay. Yes, I'll help you. Human who is probably 30 plus who should be able to do this on their own, but sure. Okay, that's fine. Video game got a video game, so we have to make this somehow work. But I love her design. I love the characters. I love the world. Like finding that mystery of like what happened to the old world kind of thing is cool. Once you figure that out, it's like, oh, that makes sense, I guess. That's fine. But yeah, I really do enjoy it. I like that character. We might talk about her later on today as well. But yeah, those are the games I have been playing.
Cool, and Have a Nice Death, they also did Tribes of Midgard, it looks like.
Like I said, this company, like it's a good company. Like I think it's a good game. It's just there is no trigger warnings, so that's why I'm like, I want to put that out there just in case. So it was like Sam said, like, no. Sam also told you to watch out.
Yes, right.
But yeah, that was me. And Sarah, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing my old faithful, Final Fantasy XIV. I will spare you guys the entire plug for it.
The critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
Sam missed it.
I did.
Sam just had to bring it in.
Yeah.
Square Enix, hire me, please. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, and I've been playing a lot of The Sims. I've been really hooked on character creation lately, which I've also been doing in Final Fantasy. Lots of just like making new characters, seeing that kind of thing. I think, is it Elden Ring that has like that really in-depth character creation for one of those new games that's out?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been, I was watching my husband do it, and I'm almost tempted to just make a character because I want to make a character. But yeah, that and Beat Saber has been my addiction lately, trying to get back into my VR kick. It's been a nice, way to listen to some music and get some exercise, and you get to feel good about beating your high scores. But yeah, it's not the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. But all these other games I do love, but I do have an obvious favorite, of course.
Nice. Sarah, since you are here and you are a Final Fantasy expert here,
Oh, thank
feelings on the Stranger of Paradise and the big muscly man.
I have no feelings because I only have feelings for Final Fantasy.
That is Final Fantasy.
No, it's Square Enix, but it's not Final Fantasy.
It's called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. Oh, is that the mobile game?
Mm-mm.
No?
It's
I
the
don't
big
know.
American man. Well, not American, but like
I still have no opinions.
he has to fight chaos because chaos is bad.
Yes. okay, I have no opinions other than the Twitter memes that are coming out of it. And I absolutely adore them because there's a fight for people who want to just defeat chaos and they are changing that to their name. And then people who are like, there are other things that we can fight besides chaos and are fighting against it.
No,
yes.
One thing in this man's mind is fight chaos. I
Exactly.
just love it. Like, I see this like, is this Final Fantasy? Like, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I didn't even like. I just glazed right over it because I was like, eh. But I like I guess I really just like the very fantasy aspect of the game. I mean, my profile picture right now is my dragon girl, so you know, it you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next one. Favorite Final Fantasy now. Wait, do you have a favorite Final Fantasy?
Well, actually, we're kind of gonna get into that later, so
Okay.
I will spare you.
I wait with bated breath.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for your answers, and we'll be right back with the question of the week. See you there. I always wanted to play Beat Saber. I wear glasses.
See, so do I. It actually, Beat Saber is one of the few ones that doesn't bother me.
Really?
Like with my glasses vision because it moves with you
Okay.
instead of like you looking and moving around the screen and having like peripheral issues. They have a lot of like settings that really help with glasses wearers.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And we are back in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the Game Raven Review podcast with our segment Question of the Week in our Discord. And if you'd like to join our Discord, GameRavenReview.com, link right there. We ask a question roughly every day on different video game kind of questions, whether it's which Link is your favorite, which Final Fantasy game is your favorite, which Pokemon starter do you think is the best, and why is it not Gen 2?
Hey.
Oh man. But again, this is the kind of question we like to ask in our Discord every day, and we pull one of those questions out to ask for the podcast. This week I pulled this question because I'm sure it'll bring wonderful feelings to the entire crowd. What makes you upset while playing video game? Now, is anyone ready to answer the question? I'll go first.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah, do you?
Sure. Well, yeah. I guess really the big thing that gets me, I love story-driven games. So the stories will probably make me upset more than anything else. I know this is probably meant to be, I guess, more like a mechanic-y question. But that always seems to be what gets me, just because I think I like playing more chill games to begin with, so there's not too much to get upset over. Either that or just like dumb mistakes, like when I accidentally click the wrong thing in, you know, my fighting rotation and then I have to start all over. Or Stardew Valley, I'm always big on like re-watering the same crop, and then I only have like one watering left in my watering can, and there's one little plot that's left, and I'm like, dang it, and I have to go like refill my whole watering can again to water one little like corn stalk. But yeah, either the story or like the very little like stupid things that I mess up. Just very, very opposite ends of the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Taz, what makes you upset?
Upset. I don't know, this is kind of tough. What makes you sad when playing video games? Probably, non-pausable cutscenes.
Yes.
I hate going into a situation or like someone's giving me a call, someone needs me, and I'm afraid to hit the start button because I don't know if it'll skip if it'll pause, if it'll just only give me a warning of, oh, this is the button to skip, press it. I'm like, but I'm trying to pause. I won't be able to see this again. I don't have to look at YouTube just to find this. Like, people need me and I can't I'm sorry, I can't, I'm watching something. Like, I think that's my biggest like upset pet peeve. Make cutscenes pausable.
Very nice. Puppet.
What makes me upset during video games? A couple things. One, when my controller doesn't work. Or when I am playing a like a PlayStation game or something and I'm used to a Nintendo controller and I hit the wrong button because of muscle memory. I hate that. I hate that so much. I had something else. The other thing that bothers me, well, we're going to talk about one of them later in this podcast, so I won't cover that one. But yeah. Okay, hold on. My brain is a little slow today, so I do have another one that I was like ready to talk about. Where are you? Loading times. Loading times when like Animal Crossing. When loading times are just ridiculous and you go outside of a place and then you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to get this thing, and then you have to go back in again and it's like
I'm sorry. That was a good face to pause. That was a funny face. But she'll be back.
Hi, I'm back. I don't know where I left. Did I say loading times?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like unnecessary loading times, especially if you forget something inside of a house or something and you have to turn around and go back and it's like 15 seconds solid of just loading times. Yes. Oh, also, wow, now I have like a whole laundry list. The final one that I'll say, when a game is unnecessarily difficult, or a part of a game is unnecessarily difficult and it disrupts the storyline. I hate that so much because I play, like Sarah said, like I like story in games, and so when the gameplay is overshadowing the story, it's so unnecessary to me and I just hate it. So there you go. Okay. That's all for now.
All right. For me, what makes me upset while playing video games? It's been so long since we've been together for me to do this rant. Games that aren't finished. Games that aren't finished is one of those things that I have noticed a lot lately. And I mean, let's call a game out. FNAF, security breach again. Yay for you guys. Where it is obvious that a game is not finished and your game has been delayed like several times to the point that you still release it and then give a day one patch that doesn't really fix a lot of your problems. Like, to me, and again, the argument of is it fair to do that to an indie studio versus like, you know, your Capcoms or whatever, Square Enixes. Again, fair is a strong word to not use, but to me, it is kind of like a first date. And if you come wrinkly and smelly, it's like, well, this is my first date though. I get better through time. And it's like, but you're wrinkly and smelly right now though. Like, this is my first time playing your game, experiencing your game, and I'm not having a good time with it. This doesn't load in correctly. It's obvious that certain assets weren't pulled the way they should have been pulled, or added when they shouldn't have been added. And to me, I'm seeing that a lot in a lot of games that are now coming out with like your day one patch of like 4 gigs. And you're like, wait, why is there a 4 gig download for this game?
Big
that
patches
just came out.
Or like DLC is gonna be on the way, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I totally agree. I'd rather wait another month or 2 or 3 to have a full game than have to like be downloading patches every week and looking forward to DLC. Like, I want the full experience.
Like, again, I love them so much. And an example I gave about the dating thing, it could be a year from now, someone picks up that game and it's perfect and it's fine because they fixed all those bugs, and that's great. My issue is, again, my first look at you is, and I forgot this exact quote, but there was a YouTube video that I love where it just discusses like an anime that pretty much like, yeah, this anime was kind of okay, but then gave you homework to watch this other show that explained this show. And it's like you said with the DLC, it's like, yeah, we could explain that in the main game, but we didn't have time to. So here's the DLC for $20 for you to get the quote unquote full experience. And it's like, but I just paid like $50 for this game. Why am I now having to pay extra to fix? Like, okay, cool. Like, I like story. I like the lore, you know. So when it comes to games that aren't finished, it's like, especially obviously finished. Like, and again, Security Breach had that moment of it didn't come out at midnight. It came out at like 8 p.m. And then they gave a tweet saying, yeah, we had to twerk. We had to tweak a few. I'd rather them twerk. I'd rather see Freddy Fazbear twerking, even though that actually is a meme. Find it on the TikTok if you want to, of Fazbear twerking, doing some dances. But like, you have the moment of like, we had to tweak a few things. And I'm like, what are you tweaking it in like 5 hours? Like, if your game's not finished, just say that it's not finished. And give me, like Sarah said, a month. And be like, hey guys, February we're gonna drop it. And I'm like, cool, great. That to me is fine. But when you start playing games where, or like the old, I think it was Street Fighter 4, I think? Or was it one of the Marvel vs. Capcoms where people did like data mining in the game and realized, hey, you know, all that paid DLC you're paying for, it's in the game. You just have to pay for it. And it's like, oh, well, that's makes me feel like you're just here for the money. And I know that, you know, in this world of capitalism that we are, you want to make money, sure, but I don't know, like a lot of this just seems like I'd rather give you the game now and then apologize later and say like, hey, well, we gave you the patch though, after you paid for it and after maybe it crashed a few times. But we gave you that patch a week or two, a month later. That's cool. Again, I wish I could do that in my job. Just be like, hey, it's not finished. You know, I know you want me this report tonight. It's not gonna be done until like next week though. I hope that's okay. I'm gonna give you the patch tomorrow. Like, this is like half the report. I'm gonna give you that rest of that patch tomorrow though. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Like, yeah, okay. Sure. Oh man. Yes, that is what I am upset with video games. While playing video games, them not being finished. And hey, if you would like to answer those kind of questions, please join our Discord. Again, going to GameRavenReview.com, you will find a link right there for our Discord. And we'll be right back with our main segment. See you there. Ooh. Any bathroom breaks? Anyone?
You know, actually, yes.
Okay, good.
That would be great.
Okay.
Okay, BRB, fam.
Yeah, I just ran to grab a snack, so it'd be nice if I could eat said snack.
What you eating?
A piece of leftover pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's called
Ever
the
made
Cowboy.
pizza?
It's very good.
The Cowboy? What is on the Cowboy?
It's a white pizza with buffalo sauce and a pulled pork and onion.
That sounds
And
good.
yeah, it is really good. But my cats are like attacking me to try to get it, so
Stop it, cats. Stop it.
yeah.
Get your own. I want to yell about FNAF some more. I always get so upset. And I downloaded it again too, just to like fine, I'll play it again, and I just haven't got back to doing it. Like that X, I just keep texting for some reason. Like,
I was gonna say, where's Autumn? I know she has feelings about it.
Josh, I gotta message her then.
Yeah.
Autumn. Yell with me.
Autumn, where are you?
Yeah. Wait. Oh gosh. What was I sending? Oh. It was Autumn. It was Autumn that I was sending FNAF memes to when the game was going on. Oh man. Oh, Sarah, how's your husband?
Oh, he's doing good. He's at work currently, but
Ooh.
he's on a big WoW kick. So
Wow.
I don't know. Oh, I don't think you were part of the discussion, but it was just recently our anniversary.
Oh,
Nice.
5 days ago, and we were in a meeting, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do for your anniversary?" And I was just like, "I'm gonna play Final Fantasy, and he's gonna play WoW because that's just the true love if you're MMORPG players."
Yeah. Ooh, are you gonna play the Harry Potter game?
Ooh,
No, I
lot of-
was
lot of-
never. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was never that into Harry Potter, and with all the politics around it right now, as Taz just coughed about.
That's right. She's not involved, I don't think, is she?
She is not involved, but
I don't think so.
I guess she still gets royalties from it.
yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
play
does
it.
she?
I'm gonna play it though.
I don't know. Like, it looks fun. Again, I also wasn't into Harry Potter like that. Like, I didn't watch a Harry Potter until honestly it was probably almost over. Because it was like one of those, it was an ABC Family or whatever would always have like those Harry Potter watching like weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah, like during Christmas or something.
Yeah. And so it would be like, I guess, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. And it was like, okay. I think it was like Goblet of Fire was the first one. I was like, all right, this is fine, I guess. Like,
Okay, I'm back. Hi.
You're back. Yeah.
Yes, the dog I thought had to go potty too, but she just looked at me out there, and I was like,
Why did you take me outside? I don't want to be here.
I mean, it's kind of muddy out there, so I don't blame her. But
Oh,
still.
You guys getting what, rain, I guess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's rainy season. Most of the time. Yes. And also we had a kiddie pool in our front yard
I'm sorry.
for a while. We had a kiddie pool in our front yard. And the grass like got destroyed underneath it because we left it out for too long. So now it's like muddy, you know? We have to like aerate the yard and put seed. I don't know. I'm not good with that stuff. So anyway, so I don't blame her for not wanting to go into the mud pit to go potty. I get it.
All right, are we all ready?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
So, do you want to start with again your complaints, I guess, but like the statement that you wanted to make about female leads first, and then talk about them, or do that like somewhere in between?
Yeah, we can kind of have the conversation of like clarifying, okay, what do you mean by a female lead? Like, is it okay if we use and then we'll get into that'll open up the whole conversation.
Ooh. All right, and we're back in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the Game Raven Review podcast with our main segment where we're going to talk about our favorite female leads. But before we get into our favorite leads, we want to kind of discuss on what I guess qualifies as a quote-unquote female lead. Papa, would you like to start?
Yeah, so for this, we were talking a little bit before the podcast, and I think we're trying to focus on actual female leads, so females that have their own game and not just like strong female characters. And it's kind of difficult to find female leads. It was for me, at least. I grew up playing Nintendo. I'm a big Nintendo player, and I was on their website looking at strong female characters, and only one character that they featured had her own game, and that was Samus, which I think is actually on your list, Sam. So if you want to start there, we could do that.
I did have Samus there. I also took Samus off, but don't mind talking about the Samus. Samus, again, I used to be a big Nintendo boys, back in the day, my Super Nintendo. Sadly, I have walked away from that and now have a new relationship with my Sony. Thank you, PlayStation, the love of my life. The only love I've ever gotten. No, but Samus is one of those characters, right? Like, it is the strong 8-foot tall woman who is awesome. And I remember like the first reveal that she was a woman, right? And everyone was like, she's a girl. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, cool. Like, please don't be upset by that. Like, please, of all the things to be upset by, her gender doesn't matter. Like, I think she's a great character. I think the games are good. Dread is a wonderful game. Again, please play that if you can. Like, even now with their new modes they have, where you get hit once, you're dead. Or if you are like me and are horrible at video games, they give you an easy mode, which I'm like, thank you. You care about me personally. Like, thank you, Nintendo. I listen. Thank you. Also, free updates, which I also appreciate because that's needed. But to me, Samus is one of those, like, if you are making a list of like top 10 female leads, she's on that list. Like with armor, without armor, like in Smash, where everyone will see her. Yeah, like that's a top tier for me. Like that's a top 10, I think, in the back of my head of a list of like, okay, what female leads do I like? Yeah, she's on that list with a number of others, which we'll go a little round robin about, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, I wanted to mention just like how difficult it is to find, you know, female leads that actually have their own game when you're a Nintendo fan like myself. I have a few like strong female characters that I really enjoy, but literally like for because it is it March that is Women's History Month. Yeah, so for Women's History Month, Nintendo on their website, they have a page that says these women are playing with power, and so they list all of their like, you know, top strong female characters, and they have Peach, Samus, Pauline, Zelda, Toadette, Isabelle, Rosalina, Daisy, Ribbon Girl from ARMS, and like Pearl. Yeah, Pearl and Marina from Splatoon 2. That's it. And one of those has their own game.
Well, technically the Splatoon girl does.
Yeah, true. Yeah. How much much story is actually in Splatoon? I've never
Don't worry about that part. I actually don't know. Like, I played Splatoon like maybe once at a friend's house. Like, oh, this is fun. And then I walked away. But yeah, of that list, you have one solid and like two maybes, because Ribbon Girl is like the Ken and Ryu of ARMS. There we go. I remember. Of ARMS, and then you have Squid Girl, who is again kind of like the Ken and Ryu of Splatoon.
Each has her own game, but it's also very much just a spin-off. So it's one of those things where it feels like not even like a Luigi's Mansion type thing where that is very much its own established series. It was just here's a game about Peach, and like that was it.
Right.
And like I love Rosalina so much, and I was sitting there like wanting to put her on the list because she is a lot of who like Mario Galaxy is about, but you're not playing as her. You have to like work to get to the point where you're seeing her story. Like there's the whole library part that there is, and you can like see how strong she was and you could see what she did, but you don't play through that. And it is so easy to just ignore that entire thing and just run around as Mario collecting coins. Which sucks.
Yeah, right. Yep. I feel exactly the same way. Yeah. So if you're going to start with me, that's, you know, I'm just going to gripe about how little there is when it comes to female leads. But I have others on my list. Yeah, none really from Nintendo. There's a few that I kind of wish had their own game, like Rosalina, like you're saying, Sarah. I think she's a great character. Zelda needs her own game, and I'm a little disappointed that rumors are saying that Breath of the Wild 2 won't have her as much as we thought. But hey, what can you do? Slow progress.
There's a new Nintendo character. Again, also you just want more female leads, just come over to Sony. We have a lot of those. But also they bought Bayonetta, so that's another one you can add to the list. They did buy Bayonetta.
All right, cool. Yep. Yeah. Well, that is on your list. It looks like twice, Sam. So we're gonna go back to you.
Oh no, that was because it was like
there's the character in the game.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, I see. Oh wait, sorry, my cat is like freaking out because there's a closed door now. Okay, sorry.
There it is. That's better.
We have an open door policy here via the cats.
The cats just walk in, mosey up. Like that
Yeah.
one scene in from like a decade ago now when the kids just bust in while he's doing that interview. I miss that.
Oh yeah.
Just saunters in. Little girl just like, hey, this is my house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, the little girl's probably
Yep.
like 10 now. It's so funny. So sorry that your life will always be on the internet as like a nice video that everyone laughs at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. But yeah, Bayonetta. Again, I have a theme of tall women. But yeah, Bayonetta's a cool character. Like, again, being bought by Nintendo, which was kind of a big deal when it came out because Nintendo is quote unquote family friendly and Bayonetta is smacking people on the rear ends a lot of times. Yeah, just let that happen. But yes, I like Bayonetta. I think she's again another cool character, another character that, like, to me, when I see her, it's just like, oh my god, look at that strong female lead. She's a cool character who also is a woman, right? Like, it's not like, oh, well, I wish there was a man I can play with. No, it's just, I want to play the game. I want to do my combos. I want to put that man on that sex wheel over there. See what happens. I don't know. Like, this is what this game is. You know, like, I like the lore. Again, the angels and demons thing is fun. Like, what is any of this? Why is that gross looking? Cool. Like, the design of Bayonetta the game is just really cool. I'm forgetting her, like, rival friend's name with, like, the long white hair. What is Bayonetta's friend's name? But no, I don't know. Like, I just enjoy her as a character. I think that's fun. Like, I like these games. I can't wait for the third one to come out finally. Whenever Nintendo decides to drop that. Whenever. And again, like Nintendo and our rants about them not having that many female characters, I think that is something that can be changed. Like, again, give Zelda her own game. That'd be fine. Like, who's gonna look at that and again be like, "Oh gosh, it's a girl"? Like, no, is it a fun game?
Right.
I always
Sure.
thought that there was a game that had Zelda as the lead. Like, I haven't played them, and I know that, like, Legend of Zelda, like, Link is the actual lead character. But, like, as somebody just observing from the outside and seeing how much, like, media there is around Zelda herself and, like, how many fans there are, I was convinced, like, literally until this podcast, that she had her own game, like a spin-off or something. Like, she had to have had that at some point. And, like, it's saddening to hear that she has had so much of, like, a fan base and a following without even having that, like, on her own.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's kind of it's amazing to me. Like, they use her face and everything to get people in, and then you just play as Link the whole time. There is a version of Zelda, Tetra, who I think needs her own game 100%. Like, if I were to choose an iteration of Zelda, it would be Tetra from Wind Waker. She is this pirate who has her own crew, and she is completely in control and has no idea that she is a princess, whatever. And then when she finds out, she's like, hey, I'm a pirate queen, but, you know, I understand that you need my help right now, so I'll do that, but I'm still gonna maintain who I am as this, like, pirate queen. So, you know, yeah, Zelda needs her own game, definitely. And I haven't even mentioned Sheik at all, another strong female. So there's a lot of, like, strong females in the franchise, but it's like, yeah, surprising that they don't have their own game, because they would be awesome games. They'd be amazing games. They just gotta tap into that, you know?
True. Like, I look at a list of, like, the games where you can play as Zelda. Number 5 is the CDI games. I'm like, really? If you add these CDI games to a list, like, no, she's like Hyrule Warriors, Smash, and then they lastly put Breath of the Wild, quote unquote, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, it, I don't know, like, I get the idea, especially when you're just talking about Nintendo, where a whole bunch of old men are in a room who, why would I change a thing that works, right? Like, why would I change when you're gonna get millions of copies sold with Hyrule Warriors or whatever you put as the title, where Link is still going to be your quote unquote main character, and maybe Zelda gets a DLC pack or something. You know, like, it's one of those weird things that I would like for that to change, or even if like you kind of do a Pokemon where you just give it to like a side studio and be like, hey, give me that remake of this game and let Zelda just be playable. Like, that'd be fun. Like, or even to having like a Smash Bros kind of thing where it's just all the girls, you know? Like, there's a lot of female characters in Smash, but they can have their own game. Like, again, if Fire Emblem by themselves can have their own roster that's in Smash, like, I don't know, like, that would be fun to me. Like, just, I don't know, like, you have too many characters for them to not have their own games, and it's kind of sad to look around at Nintendo and be like, yeah, they just either, I'd say don't care, but like, you don't see any announcements about it, really. You don't see them kind of changing it. So I don't know what to think outside of they just aren't doing it at this time.
Right. It's just not a priority for them. And, you know, same with people of color being the main character. Like, we haven't even talked about that. Like, anyway, Nintendo, you're not doing great when it comes to, you know, sexual minorities. So let's work on it.
All right, so I've talked about a few of my characters. Puppet, what's your first?
My first is a classic, Lara Croft. We can't talk about this without talking about Lara Croft. I feel like every time this topic comes up, somebody says Lara Croft. So we all know Lara Croft is amazing from Tomb Raider, been around since the mid 90s. You know, just a badass. But I wanted to mention a couple reasons why I really enjoy her as a female lead. One is that she doesn't necessarily have any romantic relationships. I mean, she kind of does, but not really. And I feel like a lot of times when strong female characters are around in like media, there's generally like a romantic aspect to them. And so as a like cis straight woman, she is one of the few that we get to see in media, so that are strong and kind of do their own thing and have their own life, and you know, she has her own goals and reasons that she does things, and she's good at it, and nothing will stop her at all. So I really enjoy her for that. Another reason why I really enjoy Lara Croft is seeing the progression of her character build. Her body type has been encouraging, because when she was first introduced, we all remember Lara Croft back in, I think it was like 96 or something. And those pointy boobs, and that's all that you, like, they wanted you to know that she was a woman. And so I've been, you know, I've been really impressed with the body type that she has now in the most recent games. She looks like a woman. She doesn't have like an actual person. Yeah, like she doesn't have, you know, huge muscles or anything. She's lean, but she's not like, you know, she doesn't look like a man with boobs on. Like, that's she looks like a person. And that is I really enjoy that about her as well, and her character. So yeah, Tomb Raider, that's Sony, right? Yes. So there you go. Sony doing much better. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. Okay. Very nice. Taz, who's your first?
My first character is Senua from Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. If you have not played the game, highly recommend. It's maybe less than 8 hours-ish. Senua takes place in the 8th century, dealing with Vikings and that kind of mythology, who is struggling with mental health, and in the guise of demons, evil invading her mind, hearing voices, and you kind of go through her adventure, destroying evil, destroying demons, trying to like get to the front door of Helheim to get your man back, because you're keeping his severed head on your hip as like a token, if you will, as a peace of mind. But I don't want to give spoilers or anything, but like some of the things, like at the end of the game, you might think to yourself, what out of this gameplay was real, and what out of this gameplay was in her mind? What was more of a metaphor than actually what had happened? Because you see her story, kind of like you see her backstory with her parents, and then like not only is she, like for being a woman, but also like, especially way back then, mental health wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like those mental diseases were not a thing. You were just lying, because it, like, to an extreme sense, we'd still do that now. But to have her go through her story is just like crazy, and watching her like deal with it and fight it is like incredible to see. And I believe there's a second game coming out here pretty soon, I believe this year. So I'm very interested in that. I want to play the first one again.
Yes.
And then maybe right before the second one comes out, because the story's a little hazy, because it's just like it's very linear, very story heavy. So it's very just go straight forward and don't die, which is great for those kinds of short games that tell a very strong story, the quality over quantity type deal. So highly recommend checking the game out. But that is one of my favorite female protagonists in gaming.
Nice. Sarah, what's your first?
Well, before you had asked what my favorite Final Fantasy game was, and I feel like I need to give lots of love to Final Fantasy 13. So Final Fantasy 13 Lightning is the protagonist of that game, and it is the game that got me into Final Fantasy. I remember I was visiting my husband when we were in college, and he was just hooked on this one game, and he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and play it. And I was watching, and I was somebody who was never into any sort of like action adventure games. I was always like Animal Crossing. The most violent I got was like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like I was and like that's like really stretching the bar on like violence. Like I would be like scared to fight with my Pokemon. And then I saw this game where there's this girl with pink hair running around, and I think it was like the third one of the final ones, and she's like literally trying to stop the world ending. Like obviously, like, yes, that's normally the plot, but it was like a time clocks travel-y thing, and it was the coolest thing. Like I had never seen a game that had, a female in it that was that big of an impact. And it sucks because Lightning gets really thrown aside as just a broody female. A lot of people, it's one of like the worst perceived Final Fantasy games. And I think a lot of it, I hear lots of excuses for it. I think a lot of it is because it was their first main series game where there was a female character. And it was a female character that wasn't, somebody, like I love Lara Croft, but it was somebody who wasn't her. She wasn't super feminine, but like, also built for fighting. She wasn't, like, she didn't sign up for this. And she wasn't, built to just be sexy and also a badass. She was a badass and she was not happy about it. Like, the world's ending. She's trying to save her sister. Like, what is there to be happy about? And it was really cool to kind of see a broody female that had those emotions. And it really kind of got me hooked into the game. And then they went and they did a whole Louis Vuitton, like, modeling campaign with her. So it was just really cool to see, like, the duality of, yeah, like, she's a harsh character and she wasn't made to kind of be a eye candy kind of girl. But then they also sat there and said, well, but she can model a purse. Like, she's your every woman. She's Barbie, but just less girly, I guess. But 13 had a whole bunch of wonderful female characters. I love Vanille with my heart and Fang, and it is just so very diverse in the types of females that they have in the game. And it's not just your stereotypical, like, she's a strong problem-solving female, although Lightning very much is. Just having that kind of diversity within them was really, really cool and really sold me on the whole franchise as a whole. So, kudos to Lightning, my little pink-haired queen. She could beat Goku in a... Maybe not.
That's not good.
Maybe not. I could hope, but...
I mean, yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah,
There's a chance that, okay, so like,
yeah.
Like, Goku has been shot before, so like, yeah, if Lightning's like behind him, he's not paying attention and gets shot, would die.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
there
know.
we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go to feats and things. It's power scaling. I hate power scaling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. The funny thing when you mentioned that about Lightning is like the only thing I've ever heard about Lightning is the brooding thing.
Yeah.
And it's so sad
And-
'cause I'm like, she doesn't look, again, she looks fine to me. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big Final Fantasy person, right? So it's like, the one I played is 7. And yeah, I'm proud about that. Yeah, I played 7.
Yeah. See,
When I
but
see that-
7,
go ahead.
your main character in 7 is Cloud. Love Cloud. Obviously I love Sephiroth, like, with my entire being. But, you know, I love Cloud, and he's a broody, white, blonde dude.
Yes.
And after seeing, at first, when I was playing 13, and it was my first Final Fantasy, and I was watching this, I was like, this girl's like, you know, really broody. She's really pissed. And then I played the other games, and I was like, wait, Cloud's also mad. Noctis is broody. Like, it was those same kind of features that were on a male that were just now presented on a female that wasn't overly sexualized, that was suddenly an issue with it. Like, she can have strong emotions that aren't just being cutesy and loving and have pink hair. So it was just a really, really cool experience to see.
Let's see. My next is going to be Clementine. Clementine. Little cutesy girl from your Walking Dead series that... What are their names? What is the name of that studio now?
Oh, Telltale.
Telltale, yes, who had no money, then got money again.
Yeah.
So Clementine's one of my favorite, again, female leads. Again, Sam, she doesn't start off as a female lead. No, she doesn't, because you have to build that relationship with Clementine, because you want to save that little girl when you're, you know, Big Daddy Lee, and it's like, you know, hey, that's my adoptive daughter, I guess. And also I had to fix all the problems, because why wouldn't I? And you get to see Clementine, and again, you get to see Clementine grow up, right? Like, when you get to that second game, where it's just sad. Like, it's just sadness, the game. Of you're with the two, again, spoilers, I guess? I don't know. You're with like the couple from the end of the first game, and then you immediately find out that everything has hit the fan. And it's like, oh yeah, we're not having happy endings here. That's right. And you get to, again, now play as Clementine with your dirty hat, and again, do the dumb thing of like, hey, 12-year-old girl now, maybe? Hey, could you solve all our problems? Yeah, sure, I guess. I have nothing else to do. And I love her character. I'm really sad that later on they got away from her being the quote-unquote main character, because I liked her a lot as the main character. And then they lied to us at that E3 or whatever it was when you saw her in like the trailer, like, oh, Clementine's back. And then it's like, kinda, not really. No, you're playing as some other family. It's like, oh. Then you also get like bits of her, what she's been doing, right? For the other game. And you get to the fact that, yeah, she's our teenage girl who has been able to survive all through this. Still remembers Lee, you know, still has that connection. Still gets those flashbacks of Lee, which, you know, of course, is just there to make me, you know, I'm gonna cry because Lee is back. Oh my gosh. Like, is it all a dream? Yeah, girl, it was just a dream. He never died. No, we can have happy endings. And then realize, no, we can't. Walking Dead isn't about you being happy. It's about you surviving, I guess. But I love Clementine. I love her design. Again, someone who also didn't get like super sexualized, right? Like because she's underage for most of it. But even when she gets to the right age, it's like, no, like she's still just girl who is still making her way through surviving. Which is kind of funny how people point that out in certain characters, which I'm going to talk about. Alloy, who people don't like her design because she's not prettified enough, I guess. And I'm like, what about this post-apocalyptic time do you think that these women are going to be putting makeup on? Like, that's not how this would work. Like, again, if you want to, girl, go ahead and do that, I guess, in your post-apocalyptic world. I personally don't think that most women would be doing that. I'm trying to make sure that zombie's not eating my neck. Thank you. But it's just funny to have that argument about a lot of these female characters. But I'm like, I couldn't care less. Like, is she cool? Does she have something that I can latch on to, right? Like, and that was the good thing about The Walking Dead, of introducing them as a child and then seeing her age up and becoming more mature, kind of like, again, Lightning, where she's not, what's the word I can use? Like, she's not nice. Nice is like, not nice, it's rude. But like, she's not bubbly, happy-go-lucky. This is a zombie-filled world. Like, yeah, I'm stealing, I'm lying, I'm trying to do the best I can to survive. That's what everyone's doing. Like, sorry that my childhood was taken away from me because this is happening. And I also saw my parents as zombies. Spoiler alert for the first game, I guess. Like, it's all these things that wrap her up. They're like, yeah, I'm a little prickly. But that's because I know me making a connection to you isn't going to help my situation at all. Because if I get connected to you, you're going to end up like Lee did. And I don't want to have that, that heartbreak again of being friendly with somebody and them dying in front of me again. But little Clementine will always be there for me. I hope that one day we get another game of her, but I doubt Telltale's going to do anything with that franchise anymore. Yeah, that would be one of mine, Clementine. Puppet, let's go back to you.
Yes. Okay, so my next one is one that actually somebody in chat reminded me of, and it is 6 from Little Nightmares. The first time I played Little Nightmares, you don't know much about 6. You don't know their gender, you don't know their story, you don't know who they are, you don't even see their face, really. And in Little Nightmares 2, you get to know 6 a little bit better. And I think what I love about 6, or as they're known as the girl in the yellow raincoat, is that they aren't perfect. Kind of like what we've been talking about a little bit here. Not the stereotypical bubbly person. 6 is living a horror, is living a nightmare, and does things that shock the player. I remember times when I was playing, especially Little Nightmares 2, where I was like, what? What did 6 just do? Okay, that was amazing. Did not expect that. Don't think I like 6 right now. Is 6 the protagonist or the antagonist here? Just a really complex character and unpredictable, but like reacts in a way that a person would. And the fact that you don't really know if she's a boy or a girl or, non-binary or whatever throughout the first game is I enjoy that because it's just a person who is experiencing a nightmare, and you're just along for the ride for this. So that would be my second favorite female protagonist. And of course, I'm gonna throw in a little indie horror there too. So there you go.
Nice. Taz, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. Very similar. Well, I guess kind of sort of similar route in terms of how she becomes a protagonist, similar to Clementine. Play the first one. Last of Us protagonist is Joel, adopts this kid. She's kind of middle school, like just kind of super inappropriate, just kind of like she grew up in this. She was born into this apocalyptic world, so she's just, you know, kind of, but she's funny, she's hilarious, she's silly. She helps you out in combat and whatnot. And then years go down the line, you're introduced to Last of Us Part 2, and her, you know, she becomes the protagonist, you know, and she is, in fact, she's gay. She has a girlfriend. She's had 2. So, like, and like, so she's not really like so much like sexualized at all. Sure, there are some spicy cutscenes, sure, just to kind of add to like the narrative of the story that it's being told. But she also does not take any, insert curse word here, because there are some cutscenes where some old dudes trying to get up in her business about her life choices, and she doesn't take that crap none one bit. She also like hunts down people that like has caused her so much grief and so much hate, and she's just a person. She just wanted to live her life, and she was trying to just live her life until these bad people showed up, and now she's not like she's not having it. And watching her struggle, watching her entire story just crumble, and it's just like heartbreaking, especially end game is just crazy to me, the way they did it. I know a lot of people didn't like Last of Us Part 2. Not a lot of people liked it for their own reasons. I agree that you played for too many hours with a different character, but that was also able to actually even see, like, from the, like, similar to actually kind of sort of ties into Emily or Puppet's 6 in Little Nightmares Part 2. You play as a different character, seeing 6 from a different lens. In Last of Us Part 2, you're playing as a different character, seeing Ellie through a different lens for a little bit, and Ellie's pissed, and you see your story and you're like, huh, like, I'm just trying to live my life. And of course that goes into more of a apocalyptic, who is the bad guy type situation. But seeing Ellie's chapters in life was amazing, and I'm excited to see how they portray it in the live action TV series. So she's my favorite, one of my other favorite female protagonists.
Yeah. Oh God, my throat. I get getting emotional here. Ellie, great. Last of Us 2, I got questions. I think Ellie's a great character. I wish they would have given, and I'm forgetting her name, I do apologize, the other person you get to play, I wish they would have given her like a side game before we came here. Yeah. So I felt any kind of way, because, again, not to spoil the game, but like when you introduce that character and what she does, it's like, wait, why do I care about anything that she's doing? Yeah. Like, nah, just give me back to Ellie so I can do what I need to do. Yeah. And how dare this game not give me the option to do what I wanted to do at the end? Don't tell me that I think about the good times with Joel. Bah! I've been killing people this entire game. I want one more, then I can be sad. Like, give me the one more, and then I'll be like, oh, I probably did the wrong thing, though. So sad. Oh, well, I feel accomplished as the player, though. Yeah. I remember the rumors about that game when it was coming out and stuff that got quote-unquote leaked, whatever. I think Ellie's a great character. I liked, like you said, the beginning of, like the middle of Last of Us 2 when you get to play as Ellie, as little girl Ellie. She's just stabbing fools in the neck. Oh, yeah. My heart. And she was actually the protagonist in the Last of Us DLC. Yeah, she was. See like her even more further backstory. But yeah, the museum scene, cried. Oh my god. I straight up cried. Oh my god. Like, again, Last of Us is a really good game. I like their characters. I like their storytelling. Last of Us 2, a few things happened that I'm just like, should have asked someone else to help out. Just tap someone else on the shoulder and be like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Like, no, I don't. That's fine. Again, I wish that character would have gotten DLC so I would have cared about her slightly more. Yeah. But We're not gonna get that. So that's good. All right, and next is Sarah.
Hi. Okay. So the next one I'm going to talk about is from, again, the lovely Final Fantasy, and I'm going to talk and I'm going to get a little salty, and I want you all to take this with a grain of salt and know that I love you all. Maybe less so at Puppet, because I've been noticing the faces that she's making, and I'm wondering if she's thinking the same thing. Just in kind of this last round, I heard a lot of like, oh, they were in this game after you know, learned them and you developed with this other character after you were playing this male, and then you came to love them and then you played as them. One of those characters that is Yuna in 10-2. I love her. I adore her. I love her little girl gang of her and Riku and Pain, and that they're, you know, these really cool, I call it like their Britney Spears game. They're just in this really cool, like, girl boss, like, you know, little musician thing, and they fight with their clothes, and it's like so made for the girls, and I love it. But I hate that it's the second iteration. I hate the fact that this couldn't be their own game, that this couldn't be their own girls, that it had to come after they had a male protagonist, that it had to come after, you know, somebody else's story. And the entirety of 10 is that it's Titus going on about, you know, this is my story. And that's his literal, like, tagline throughout the entire thing. And I love Yuna. She is, like, she's a boss. I have a picture that I'm staring at of Yuna and Titus together, and I used, like, their sayings and stuff for my wedding. I adore them, but I just hate that she couldn't get the attention on her own. And I hate that that seems to be, you know, kind of a big theme. There are so many games that, you know, it's the spin-off, it's the second version, it's you play them after you've played as a man and then you learn to love that character. Like, I could just love Yuna on her own. I could have loved her without Titus. Or this could have been a whole different character, you know? But talking about Yuna, I absolutely adore her. She is soft, she is like a sweetie, but she also summons primals and she takes down people with that. And I love that for her. And I love Riku and Pain in that, like, iteration as well, but it's just something. I give Square Enix a lot of props for showing me a lot of really strong female characters, but there's things like that that just, it grinds my gears, I guess, for keeping it like family friendly time. But it is just one of those things where I absolutely love her and I love the story that you get, but I didn't play a lot of 10-2, if I'm honest. A lot of that did come from my love of her from 10. So I wish that she had gotten that same love and attention and affection as the first iteration of the game. And yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I felt the same way about, because I really wanted to mention Ciri from The Witcher.
Yep.
But really, you only get to see her through the lens of Geralt. And yep. I'm reading the books and watching the show and stuff, and the story is about Ciri. And there is so much to her character. But honestly, like, a lot of people love her because of her relationship to Geralt. And that's why I loved Lara Croft so much, is because it wasn't her relationships that were the highlight. It was just her. And I really wish that, you know, Ciri had, you know, we could just love Ciri for who she was, not her relationships to the men around her. So I totally feel that. Thank you for bringing that up, Sarah.
Yeah, and I would have, 10-2 is one of those ones where I would have adored. It's three girls traveling to essentially, you know, find Yuna's lost boyfriend. For a very quick summary of it. And I wish it could have been focused on, like, a girl power of friendship, you know, they're gonna beat all the bad guys, rather than just, where's Titus? I miss him, and all those kinds of things. And it is just one of those things where that's common, and I don't think that a lot of people, you know, males and more male identifying folks realize that that's something that we just kind of write off. And, you know, it makes me sad because I would have just loved a game like Final Fantasy 15 is just about some dudes going on a road trip. Why can't I get that? Why couldn't I have my girl bosses going on a world tour, you know, being musicians, but then also killing bad guys? Like that sounds wonderful to me. And if there is a game like that and somebody out there knows it, please let me know. Please like send it to Game Raven because I want to play it. But I don't see as much of that, and I don't see many of those from AAA game companies, especially. Like, I cannot think of a single game that would fit any sort of that criteria from, you know, your Sony, your EA, your Capcom, all of those big guys.
Yeah, it makes me think of like Life is Strange hasn't been on our list, and it's because. Yeah, like, oh yeah, Life is Strange, because...
Oh wait, I don't like those games. Wait.
Right? So many people, when they're talking about strong female protagonists, they talk about Life is Strange, and I'm sorry, I just don't think that those characters are strong when it comes to what we're talking about here. Mind you, like, the first game was great, but it's like... it's all about the relationships, and the actual like badassery that we really want like just doesn't happen. And it could very much so, especially in the first one. It's like you have this girl who has this amazing power, but is the way that she uses it, and the way that like she doesn't have her own person, it feels like, through the story. Like, she's doing it for everybody else, and like it was just, you know, I hate to rag on Life is Strange because there are a lot of great things that it brought to us, but it also just reinstated a lot of stereotypes when it comes to women.
Love how you kind of made that description of like what a strong female is in this sense. Oh, and she's gone. She'll be back in just a second. No,
like, how dare you?
She didn't like me talking about strong female characters.
Say that again.
Okay. I love how you were talking about our definition of a strong female character. And I think a lot of it, people are used to when we say a strong female character that they have to just be this badass character. And a lot of it isn't necessarily just that, but just strong in the sense that they are developed outside of their own relationships. Like that you know them for something other than, you know, trying to help this person. And that's something that I think women just in general get subjected to a lot, is that we're reduced down to, you know, oh, we're somebody's wife, we're somebody's daughter. Imagine if that was your child. Imagine if that was your aunt. But I'm me. I'm my own person outside of these other people. And that is so hard to find in a lot of these games. And especially even if they have, like you were saying in Life is Strange, I haven't played it, but I've watched a few streams where the main character has these really awesome powers, but it's not about her. And that just really sucks.
Yeah. Taz, you look like you're dying.
I'm sorry.
I have so many thoughts on the things that you said. However, I will hold back. I don't find sometimes
we're gonna tussle.
Sometimes we are at the mercy of other. Sometimes we're at the mercy of other people. As someone who can relate to that, that's why I love the game so much. Is like, yeah, I don't have any choices. I have to do everything for other people. Especially if her best friend, her best childhood friend, and goes back in time, changes how that happened.
Life is Strange. We on that.
And then whoosh, and then oh my god. She's at the mercy of, oh, great, these are powers, but now I have to do them for other people. It's frustrating, but I think that is the point. But I hear you all.
Yeah.
Women, I hear you, straight up. But
it's hard. Like, I 100% understand that, like, in the sense that I am also one of those people who everything kind of comes down to, oh, I have to do this, you know, for helping these folks and for doing that. I mean, that was the whole reason why I became a teacher at first. And that was like my first like calling in life, because I was like, I need to help the little ones and I'm subjected to this. And, you know, I'll just put up with all of these things for, you know, the greater good. But I think it's hard when I see so many female characters reduced to that, you know? I feel like I see it more commonly too, that's when a female protagonist is used instead of a male. Like when that's the point that they're making, is that, you know, well, you feel for this person, you feel bad for them, but, you know, I also just want somebody that I connect with otherwise, or that is just a badass. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, I get to see so many games of just some dudes, you know, chilling and running around and doing stuff, but I don't get to see as many of that with my girls. And I'd love to just see a cute little girl running around and just, you know, swinging an axe for the sake of just swinging an axe and saving the world, and not, you know, to help her younger sister or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I'll take this bullet. I don't care. Life is Strange. Max is not a good person. I'm not sure where you guys kind of get that information from her. She doesn't know her friend's name. She uses her power for her own good. Example would be girl whose mother is dying. She then rewinds time. It's like, oh man, I heard your mom's dying. And she's like, oh my God, Max, you're such a good friend. No, she's not. She didn't know that information. But she uses her power to get around with that. Even her own self at the end of that game points at her and says, you did this because you wanted to, not to help other people. Because you wanted to be popular. And for me, again, Max, complicated character, sure, fine. My issue with Life is Strange is you pointing me towards, what is her name? What is Max? What is the girl's name?
Chloe?
Yes. Again, if there was an option to kill Chloe again, I'll do it again.
Oh my goodness.
God, I don't like that character. But for me, I don't. Like, it's, God, the rant about Chloe is long and strong, but when you have the world literally pointing at one person saying, no, she needs to die, because if you go back to every episode, she dies. Do you then believe that that whirlpool that happens at the end is the last time that Death, God, Cthulhu, whomever, is trying to kill this individual? Like, you sacrifice the whole town for one person who honestly also isn't that great. Like, you have a friend that tried to commit suicide or did commit suicide, and then she's all like, well, why are you trying to spend your time with her? And it's like, because she's going through a thing. Like, and I get it. Like, Chloe's also complicated because her father passed away. I get that. But she's still not a likable character. And even, what's the other girl's name that's missing? Something.
I forget her.
But again, like you said, like, the game isn't really about Max. It's about what happened to said girl, whose name, Ashley Amber. Yeah.
Amber.
Something Amber. Again, it's very Twin Peaksy kind of thing. But to me, it's like Max as a character. For me, me playing that game, I didn't find her, like you said, as being a badass. I found her as actually kind of annoying, because your power set that you have, you are using to manipulate other people. And sure, that's kind of the mechanic of the game, yes. But you also see in her back of her mind how she thinks about other people. She's not friends with any of them. Like, you have.
Why would you? They're all pretentious jerks. They're all assholes, dude.
Maybe
Of course they would. I wouldn't be either.
I want to play this game now, actually, because like I would honestly, okay, if you follow me on my Twitter, like the 3 things I tweet about are Final Fantasy XIV, Sephiroth, and Azula from Avatar. I love seeing these unhinged, mean, like not loving, caring female characters. I love my cutesy characters. I identify with them probably way more. But hearing that there's a character that like doesn't actually like take on that motherly, oh, I care for everybody role, and has these like really bad thoughts about everybody else, I'm kind of rooting for her already. Like,
honestly, I think we're giving her too much credit. Unfortunately, she's not that complex. Unfortunately,
is she not?
But she is.
No, she totally is. What are you talking about?
No, she's not.
Well,
no, she's
Max
such a flat character. What?
Are you kidding me?
If she's flat, that's one thing. And like, this is flat character, not flat chested. I don't need my girls to be busty.
Oh yeah, no.
But you know. But I kind of like that that's a thing though too, because that's so common with men. Like, I see so many male characters that I'm just like, why? This is annoying. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's kind of refreshing to see that that's also happened to a female character. It's kind of given me some more faith in the video games world that it's just, this is common now. You know, we're gonna make a crappy character and they're going to be female this time. Like, yes,
interesting.
Like,
we have true representation now.
I want to know your thoughts, so I hope you actually do play it.
Should. Like, again, I don't think that Life is Strange is a horrible game. Again, it's not Omicron. It's not, the worst games ever. It's the idea that, like, example, a girl is pregnant. She goes through her trash to find out that she's pregnant and then uses that against her. That's a thing that happens. Like
that, but that's a thing that would happen in real life, though, too. Like,
And
I'm not. Maybe just me. I'm not going through so much trash. Like,
I don't know.
I know, it's just weird to be like, hey, you're pregnant, aren't you? How'd you hear about that? It's like, because I went through your trash and time travel. Like, I don't know. Again, Life is Strange. If you like it, great. Was it True Colors? I think me and Puppet played that one.
Not really impressed, but we digress. For the sake of time, we might need to start wrapping it up.
Oh, yes.
So little.
I'm okay with skipping.
Fires here. All right, I'll end with mine then. Alloy, again, from your Zero Dawns, your Horizons, again, a Sony property of a woman, just saying, I really like Alloy. Alloy is the girls and guys are kind of flirting with her, and she's kind of like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm trying to solve the problem. And it's like, yeah, cool, great, appreciate you. Because like there's even like an escort quest you have with these two, guy and girl, and like they're doing the argument flirting business. She's like, could you two just like kiss and get over with this? Thanks, appreciate you. Like I got things to do, and it's not hearing you two flirt by arguing. Just get. I do not care. And it's fun. Like even with the new game that comes out, where you have a guy who is charming looking, right? Like looks attractive to me, I guess. And it's still out here that, man, I gotta solve the problem. Satan's actually trying to come back, and I gotta do something about that. So you can come along if you want to, but please don't slow me down. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I like this character. I like her design. I think all that is really cool. I mentioned earlier, I don't get the complaint about the way she looks. I think she looks fine. Sure. Again, in a post-apocalyptic world, why is she putting on makeup anyway? But again, I think having an independent character that's just like, I need to go solve the problem because literally genetically, I'm the only one who can. And it's like, bet, cool. Like, just do your job, sis. I'm here for you. And I like the combat. I like, again, the kind of Breath of the Wild, but just on the PlayStation. You're crafting your arrows, you're fighting different enemies, things like that, which of course, you fight your metal giraffes and stuff. But again, that's not really the threat. It's always humanity, because humanity is evil and bad. Of course it is. But no, it's cool. It's a cool game. If you can find it on the PlayStation, there is a deal that I think might still be going on that is for $10, and that's with the first game and the DLC part of it as well. I think that is a wonderful value. So definitely, if you can check it out, do so. Again, Alloy to me is a good way of having a new generation of main female leads that are just cool. Like, it's cool. They're cool to look at. They're cool to play as. They're not being overly sexualized by anything. They're just living their best life, trying to solve the problem. Because if I don't, literally no one else can.
And I add,
Yes.
I know we were wrapping up, but I need to prove to the world that I don't just play Final Fantasy and that I am part of Game Raven because I do like indies. The two games that I thought of, and I was trying to think of what I've played most recently, are two indie games. So Persephone and Hazel the Plant Witch. And it's something that I have been loving indies for because you get to see these minority, characters. And Hazel is, I think she's some sort of she's mute, I believe, and she's black and she's a female, like, and the story itself isn't about that, and it was kind of her being mute in a sense. But that was kind of more of an open-ended thing, but it was really cool to just see, like, this is who your main character is and this is what she's doing. And Persephone is a lot more lore-based in that sense, but it was really exciting to find these things through indies. It's something that I didn't realize was a lot about the reason why I like these kind of off-brand games. But it was just really cool. They're really strong characters in and of themselves. They're really kind of fleshed out with who they are. And it's not necessarily something, I mean, in Persephone, she's kind of killing herself multiple times to get down to hell, but like she's doing it herself and in her own way, so we will take it. And then also a nice shout out to Raveheart, not a female lead, but the first openly non-binary lead that I have really been aware of in any of the games that I'm playing. Not a like, well, way, it's no, this person doesn't have a gender. Like, their pronouns are they, them, they are a non-binary human, and I don't remember if they're actually human or if it's some space thing. Well, either way, it's really cool to see that indie studios are doing things like this and giving that recognition to, you know, so many groups of folks that would not otherwise have kind of these platforms. Like, Nintendo, get your act together. Take a note from the indies.
Take it
Or
always.
Or Sony. Maybe Sony.
Yeah.
Sony.
Sony's doing good. Sony's doing good.
Does Microsoft have any things I keep thinking that we're not mentioning? You know,
Right.
whatever, Xbox. Ooh, Xbox. Ooh.
Xbox haters over here.
It's a good thing Eric's not here. He's a
Oh
big
no, Hellblade.
Xbox.
Hellblade's on Xbox. Hellblade's on
Oh,
Xbox.
okay.
That's
Hey-o.
right. That's right. There we go. There it is.
Hey.
There it is. No hate here for any of them. Just want you to do better. Just do better. But hey, that has been our podcast for today. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Game Raven Review podcast. I have been your host, Sam, and you can find me on all social media under Sam Said It DFW. Puppet, where can you be found?
I am Puppet Master N. That's Puppet Master EN, and I am here on Twitch and on all the socials under that name. So check me out.
Taz.
Yes, you can find me at TazCivil3 on all the social meds. I stream for Game Raven, hosting a Raven party on Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, along with Dark Isle and some other Ravens playing weekly party games, indie party games. They're fun, they're a good time, as well as streaming on Monday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Whatever's like hot in the indie world, I play cool games. So hope to see you there.
And Sarah.
Hello, I am Sarah. Actually with an R. You can find me at Sarah Sweet Bee. Sarah with an H, sweet as in honey, and bee as in a honeybee. On pretty much anything, and I'm also the Game Raven social media person, so you can also, you know, yell at me there and, you know, talk to me about some girl-powered, save the world Britney Spears moments.
I'm so glad Britney Spears is free now. I really am.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
really happy.
love her.
And as always, you can find all of us, as mentioned also by Sarah, on the Twitter and Twitch at Game Raven Review and GameRavenReview.com. There's a link to our Discord there if you'd like to join that. And this has again been our podcast. Have a fantastic week, and until next time,